Going on 3 years.
3 years? Yeah.
All right.
And I was like, not used to clown me for wearing short ass shorts, but now it's like every nigga's fucking wearing it now.
Yeah.
I was like, I think it came from niggas skipping leg day.
Yeah.
And then it's just like having super long, because the shorts before we got to a comfortable level was nut huggers.
Bro, yeah, I see pictures of my pop.
Like, dad. Like, how did you?
What should I do?
Pink. Like, dad, were you trying to not have kids? Because those is tight, son.
Yeah.
Like, how y'all niggas doing that shit and then going it like, hey. Like, it was awesome, bro. It was so bad. Like, niggas used to wear boxers, then basketball shorts, then, like, regular shorts on top of that shit.
Or pants.
Yeah, like, fam, why are you wearing so many fucking... Like, you're...
Just asking me, you gotta be ready to ball at any moment.
Like, keep them in the car.
Any moment.
Like, keep them in the car. Like, I get it. Trust me. I had all my soccer stuff ready in some shorts, but I'm not wearing them.
Nah, I feel it. You told me to bring back some old songs, man. I got you.
Oh God. Oh God. How we do?
I don't know if that's what it was.
And Who You With? I think it was Who You With.
Yo, bitch, and hit 'em.
I don't know if that was us.
That was us, bro. You ready?
Really? Oh God. Oh shit. I know that ad-lib. I know that.
I'm back home, bitch.
Oh, when I got out of jail. Ah, shit.
Look, 3, 2, 1. Listen, hey yo, Asa, please don't erase it. Did too much, you back, don't go and race it. Bullets at you pussies like he's go and get back. Y'all ain't fucking with me, how you gon' break that? If that nigga talking hard, I'ma just walk him. Straight up just off him. Nigga, I'm a menace. Ask how often I set up shop. Yeah, a nigga ask about how I set off shots. Pop at cops, shut down.
I was so gangster.
Y'all niggas can suck that cock. No homo, nigga ride dolo. Black beans, motherfucker, black gloves. Yes, dog, I hit you in your whole soul. What the fuck you mean? I ain't real. Nigga, I define real. What you feel? If you really wanna come at me, shoot your move. I'ma take you out like Marshall. Use the dude, bitch.
Wow.
That was it. Here we go. Here's the other one.
I did another one. My nigga. I pick good beats.
I spit hot, nigga, feel me. I spit murder, nigga, kill me. Or you can try to. You weak rappers, I'm
No stop. You're never nice.
I outshine you. Me, I am forever nice.
Oh, this is
Fly
nice.
like a leather kite, bring them to me. Fuck me, I am my own groupie. I am the star, this my own movie. Undirected. Ask me if your bitch in it. No question. I got your bitch on my friends list. He just fuck, but she always trying to French kiss. I pull out quick, tell the bitch kiss this. And put your friend in the mix like biscuit. You see, I'm
Biscuit.
It is Rick James. I pass the L to your bitch when I switch lanes. Put a shell in the dog, better sit, man. I put your sister in the range, better get brain.
Hey yo, stop that bitching. Nigga, I will walk in the club, snatch up the chicken. Leave it with me. Walk away with a villain. Who's really
me?
Tell me smile, girl. Who with me? Intimacy. See, she a pussy cat, so I'm loosen up her. Pants buttons, no question. We fucking sicking her with something. You ain't giving her. No nigga, thank me. Why your ass for giving her? I am too smooth. Call me turtle with dick so big. Trans girls can't handle it. I'm a bitch. Yeah, I'm too nice with this shit. I'm the killer pussy. Call me quick. This ain't all I'm nice, nigga, girl. This a fight.
Quick, call that pussy. Call me quick. Oh, shit.
Mr. Vicious, aka come and get him.
That is great.
That's pretty nice, man.
Nigga, yo, we did it. Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
You gotta play that back. We'll play it
We
back.
gotta play that back. Oh man, we gotta. Oh, this is dope. This is
Memories, bro.
bro.
How long did this go?
Probably
2008.
Yes, 14 fucking years.
I spit type nigga feel me.
Yours is sounding
Let
better.
a nigga kill me, or you can try to. You weak rappers, I'ma time you, you're never nice. I outshine you, me I am forever nice. I'm too fly like a leather kite, bring them to me. Fuck me, I am my own groupie. I am the star, this my own movie. Undirected, ask me if your bitch in it. No question, I got your bitch on my friends list. We just fuck, but she always trying to frisk this. I pull out quick, tell a bitch kiss this. Put your friend in the mix like biscuit. You see I'm rich, bitch, this is Rick James. I pass the L to your bitch when I switch lanes. Put a shell in the dog, let it sit, man.
I put your mouth in the brains, but I get brain. Yeah.
Hey yo, stop that bitching. Nigga, I will walk in the club, snatch up your chicken. Leave it with me.
So freeway. So freeway.
Smile, girl, you and me intimacy. She a pussycat, so I'm loosen up her pants buttons. No question, we fucking sicking her with something. You ain't giving her. Nah, nigga, thank me while your ass for giving her. I am too smooth. Call me turtle, which dick so big, track girl.
Can't hurdle it.
I'm too nice with this shit. I'm kill a pussy. Call me quick. This ain't all I'm nice with the girl. This a fight. 3 rounds of me. Put you to sleep. I am Mr. Vicious, aka AAE. Come and get him.
That what, bro?
I just uploaded it on SoundCloud so you can listen to whenever you want to.
I gotta get your SoundCloud. That is
Memories. Hey,
Bro.
you got the mic right here.
Sorry,
If you
my
want to
fault.
spit, if you got room,
sorry,
we gonna make it happen.
bro. That was just thinking about just the veracity that we were going.
But you got to think, what else did we have to do?
Working that teleperformance.
Just working.
That's it.
Working right after work. No, nothing else.
You couldn't tell us shit.
Nothing.
Cause we knew we know what sounds good.
Yeah.
And we were like, and we were really hard on ourselves too. Like
Yeah.
you'd be like, yo, you gotta say this better.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you guys like, that line doesn't work. Like we would really be like giving each other.
It was legit.
Legit.
It felt like a real legit studio session that would probably happen in like industry quality studio sessions.
Bro, that song just audibly sounded so dope.
Yeah. It wasn't
Like-
that bad.
Like the way, and I like the difference in how you engineered your voice versus mine.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't sound like exactly the same.
Yeah.
But like that, I fucking loved how like you went in. I was like, oh, cool, I'm matching this energy. Because that was always my thing. I was an energy dude.
Yeah.
And you were just a smooth rapper, but just like, I think that's what made that track dope, because it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna bring the energy up. Because I was
Yeah.
like, bro, you got, and oh my, 14 fucking years ago,
Yeah.
it's like, bro, you got to bring this up. Like, this song is too big for you to just be sounding just smooth. Like,
Yeah.
you can do both, but bro, that was dope.
Yeah.
That was like, that's like taking a Jeep wagon, like a Jeep Grand Cherokee off-road. Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk, like with everything in it,
Yeah.
because yours is just such a fucking good flow, and I'm dashing.
Yeah.
So it's like yours was like, we're both going at the same speed, but yours is like a luxury sedan, and mine, and I'm just fucking, yo, give me this fucking 71
trail.
Charger, and I'm going,
Yeah.
dude.
No,
that
I
was-
mean, that like so in that time, whenever all the times that I ever rapped and ever made music, right? That was like one of my prime times.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I don't know if you remember my little cousin,
yeah,
Tyler. It was just me and him, and then I was with this other dude named Nick. Authentics was his call name and whatnot, and then yeah, we would just make a lot of music, and it was like the squad up mixtape time. So
Yep.
like, you had motivation to have lyrics, and I was just I was a club promoter. I just became a club promoter. Like, I was excited, about I was getting new experiences to rap about from the
Yeah.
club. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I mean, that was just a really raw and a pure time. So that's why, like, when I look at like people like lives, like maybe 2 Chainz is like an older rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's an older rapper, but you got to think, man, he still was able to come. His
Yeah.
time may have blossomed late. You know what I mean?
It
And-
really did. Like,
yeah.
he really didn't put, like, until he went from, like, I remember hearing about 2 Chainz, like,
Yeah.
instead of Titty Boy, like, in 2011.
Yeah.
But, like, I think with those experience and just, like, the inspiration, because that's mixtape Wayne.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, cool, I can take these really dope-ass beats and just jump in. Like, that's what, it democratized so much of, not even just the music industry, but just music, period. You can download a fucking instrumental,
Yeah.
write to it. Like, bro, we would literally be at work just
Writing.
writing.
Like, yo, let's pick this beat. It's on YouTube. We could rip it when we got home and fucking rap over it.
Yeah, that was so fucking dope, and I think that's what. So many things were going right for us at that time. Like no responsibilities, no kids. I had my creative juices going, playing soccer. So and everybody's fucking listening to music in the way we're thinking like, yeah, we can actually fucking do this shit.
Yeah,
dude, that was blessed, bro. I think about that.
Yeah,
I remember you and your boy flipped the 702.
Yeah.
I Still Love You.
Yeah,
Still one of my favorite flips, bro.
Man.
I try to like that's one of my favorite beats.
Yeah,
And the way you guys did it was so perfect. Like, bro, like that was a fun fucking time.
bro.
That
I was sending
fun fucking time.
So I would send tracks to my boy in Virginia, and he would just send them back. Like it was just like that. Like and we'd be like, yo, this is what you got to work on in your studio. Like this is what you got to work on. Your highs, your mids are too high. You know, do this, and we would just send tracks back and forth. That was the only way that I could like, you know, get back with my homies and rap again, because we used to rap back then. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, man, music is just dope. You got to think about music touches people in a lot of different places.
Fact.
I think where I gravitated, I don't know how you did it, but in my life, it was like, yo, I went from making beats and then rapping, and then rapping and making beats, rapping over other people's beats.
Yeah.
I moved to Houston. I was like, oh, okay, I got into a relationship. They don't like me rapping. You know what I mean? For me personally, I lost a lot of, when I got to Houston, I kind of lost a lot of that creativity about it. You know what I mean? And not only that, I moved my whole studio from Ohio to Houston.
Yeah.
So now my studio, it doesn't sound like it did when it was in Ohio, and that was bumming me out. I was just like, it was just a bad thing. So then the only way I could stick with music was music videos.
Yeah.
So then I started being a videographer, and that was my way to stay in the loop with music, still be a creative, and do it. And now it's just like, man, I really think I lost touch with it. But at the end of the day, like, you know, in the car, if a beat comes on, I'm still gonna freestyle. You know what I mean?
All of bro, even with obscure stuff. Like for me,
Yeah.
that was one of the times where I was writing. Like for me, it's like I got into writing first. And then I got into writing first, and then my mom had a keyboard, and so I would make beats on that. And that's something about Who You With, because that's a beat that me and you made together. Yeah. Like we found a melody for that shit. Like, so I was doing that, and I had a cousin that went to Hockin College, and I remember his homeboy had a chord keyboard. You could save stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember, and this is like 06, I stayed up all fucking night, and I cooked up like 12 beats. And like 10 of them were really good. And I remember my cousin's like, bro, how the fuck did you do this?
Yeah.
I was like, you taught me how to loop everything and save it to a CD, and that's what I did. But then I fucking left that fucking CD in Texas, in El Paso, Texas, and I'm mad. But like, writing wise, when me and you were working together, that was the first time I was writing and inspired, and I wasn't depressed. Yeah. Because all of my best writing, even some of the shit that I did with my homeboy Andre Troy, shouts to him, I was going through a bad depression. But like when I was writing again in 2010, 2011, and 2012, going through a lot of fucking depression again. Yeah. So it's like, I loved connecting with you and the music that we made, because I was happy. Yeah. I was like, yo, I'm looking forward to this shit. Not that I'm going through fucking anguish and I have to fucking put something out. Well,
I mean, at the end of the day, you're big on energy, right?
Yeah, gotta be.
You know, so let's talk about depression, man, because I think that's a big thing. I don't necessarily look at it as a real thing, and not to disrespect like what you went through, but
it is.
It's to me, it's just where you put your energy towards.
I think some of it is, part of it is a chemical imbalance. Yeah. And then a lot of it is just triggers. Like most people have depression and anxiety. I just kind of had depression. Yeah. And so for me, whenever I feel like I'm in a bad spot or I'm getting burnt out on something, like, and I don't have the answers, I get kind of down on myself. And when I don't have a creative outlet to like work my way out of it, that's when it really starts to take over. Yeah. And so for me, being physical, a lot of the times, like with playing soccer, going to the gym and stuff like that, I'm able to get that out and have whatever feelings I'm go into something positive. And I think in the times where I didn't, like when things are getting too fucking wonky, that's when you kind of retreat into that dark space. But it's like, some people kind of like, it gets thrown around a lot, all depression. Like, there's a difference between melancholy and like contentment, to where it's just like depression. Like depression isn't just a couple days, everything, like it's months, and there's usually a catalyst of what caused that.
Yeah.
And it's a reaction to a trigger. It's not just like, I didn't get a Ferrari today. Brr. Like, no, like there's something really, really happened. Like the last depression I was in 2017, late 2017, my dad died. And then I lost my job because my car died right after that. So I have no money coming in. And then for like months trying to find a job and everything else. And then me and my girl break up. And then fucking sends me into a tailspin. But the one thing that kept me going, talk about energy, was like I felt like the presence of, because I moved in with my grandmother. And I felt the presence of my grandfather and my dad just kind of keep me alive. And then I moved to Orlando, Florida. I was like, okay, bet. And that was one of the things like, oh shit, I can fucking leave this place. Like the people feel so tied to where they're from, and they feel like if they leave, they'll lose the friendships and connections that they had. And so like leaving is the hardest part. But once you do it and you're kind of thriving and kicking it and making friends and having new experiences, it's a lot easier. Yeah. So when I moved to Portland, it was a lot easier mentally, and there wasn't that fear there. Yeah. Like Portland to me is like the kind of jump in. Like Portland's dope to me because that's the first city that I've been in where people don't hate on the city that are from there. Like, because if you live in Portland, you made a choice to live in Portland. It's so fucking isolated. Like, you can end up in, like, fucking Houston. You can end up in Miami. You can end up in Atlanta or New York or any major city in the Eastern and Central time zone. If you're moving to San Francisco, Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, you're making a choice.
It's like that with that Oregon Trail mentality.
Yeah. Like
you had to travel to get there.
Yeah, you're doing this because you're so isolated. And it is isolated, but because even with the raininess and shit, like it's so cool. For me, it was so cool to see mountains, bro. Yeah, like waking up and seeing, and you don't realize how big mountains are till you see them, and it's like, so Mount Hood is the biggest mountain in Oregon, and you can see it from downtown Portland. You can see it from Portland for the most part. Now, Mount Hood is the same distance away from Portland as Columbus is Mansfield. So imagine just going downtown and looking north and seeing a fucking mountain. Yeah. Like, that's trippy. And then on the other side of Portland, on the western part of Portland, there's the coastal mountain range. Yeah. And where I lived at in Beaverton, it was like 50 miles away from there. Yeah. I was like, holy shit, like, bro, that's just dope as fuck. So yeah.
I mean, to be honest, that's kind of like how Phoenix is. Phoenix has a mountain range. Facts. Phoenix has a dope mountain range. It's probably not as big as Mount Hood, because I've never been to Oregon. But I don't know. Kind of to shoot back to the depression part. I think people choose, and not to like choose depression. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say they choose it is because ultimately, whatever you're going through in life, in my opinion, depression is a real word, and I feel like it's a real thing. But I feel like people choose it because if you have a problem, you just kind of wade in that problem. And you kind of just soak into that issue. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're not necessarily looking for a solution, And maybe you're hoping somebody else could bring a solution, and that what makes you depressed. Whereas like my mentality now in this day and age is like, and it took a while for me to get here. It's just that if I have an issue, something's going wrong in my life, or something that I can't really control, I sort of just look at the issue, like very briefly. This is the problem, and then I start looking for a solution. Yeah. And if I can't find it, I try to lean on other people for those solutions. Maybe get some advice somewhere. But for the most part, I think depression is necessarily a choice because of your mindset at the time that whatever's going wrong with you. I've been through a lot of traumas in my life. I've been through a lot of things where stuff has affected me personally. And I know that a lot of the times when I felt down and out is because I wasn't looking for a solution. I wasn't looking for an answer to my problem, and I wasn't working towards a solution. I was so focused on like, man, I'm here. This is fucking happening to me. You know what I mean? This sucks. I don't know what else to do. I have nothing to do. I have nobody to talk to. This is nothing I could do, Instead of just like, all right, well, shoot, my car broke down. Fuck, man, what am I going to do? I can't afford to take it to a place to get it fixed. I do have some tools. Let me go on YouTube and figure out what I could do to fix if I can do it. If not, then, let me see what bus systems I got out here. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just kind of like where I got to in a point in my life because, you know, I was never lenient on anybody to help me. You know, like people would just help me. You know what I mean? When it happened or when things happened, like my pops would step in, my mom would step in. They would just help me. I would never lean towards them. But at the same time, it was just more like, you know, in my adult life, if I focus so much on the problem, it's just going to, you know, force me into a mode of depression. I mean, what do you think about that? You think it's a semi accurate?
It is. I think a lot of it too is that we are now in an age where mental health is taken more seriously.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure our fathers, our grandfathers, great grandfathers had depression, but like with words and knowing the definition of the words allows you to have different feelings.
Yeah.
Like for the longest, especially as a man, you're taught happy, angry, sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you look at red, blue, yellow. There's so many things in between there, and it's a spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, I think with depression, a lot of people don't know how to deal with it, and sometimes you have it. You have it so long, you become that becomes your baseline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I think it is a choice, but like some people, if you don't know how to even start to get help, and you don't know how to properly form. If you don't know the words to form what you're feeling and why you're feeling it, it can kind of keep you in that. And I think that's the...
And I would argue this, too. Like, not everybody's as resourceful as I am.
Facts.
And not everybody's as resourceful as you are or any other individual. Like, some people are very lenient on, hey, I need to get my oil changed. I have to go to an oil change spot. You know, hey, I need to get my hair cut. I'm going to go to a haircut place. You know what I mean? Or hey... shoot, man, I really want a nice pair of pants. I want them tailored. I gotta go to a tailor. You know what I mean? Not everybody could just like, hey, I'm gonna do my own pants. I'm gonna make my own tie dye. I'm gonna, wash my own car. You know what I mean? Some people are just not as resourceful. So I get it, and I see why there's depression. But I also still want to challenge people that feel like they're in depressed modes or depressed like in depressed states to look for that solution. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like my challenge. And I like I said, I don't want to like downplay.
No, you're good. It's for me. It's like if you saw someone make a beat and then you learned how to make a beat.
Yeah.
We've studied rappers, so we know how to rap.
Yeah.
So it's like if you've never lived in, let me just use the bottoms because that's a depressing area.
Yeah.
If you've lived in the bottoms your entire life and you've never seen anyone beat addiction or beat depression, you don't know how. We all need a template, but I think that's a great thing about social media is that especially like for a lot of people, like, you're just like, hey, I'm depressed, I need help.
Yeah.
And so now you have that built-in community who views shows like, hopefully like, hey, let me link you up with a doctor. Now, like, instead of going to an actual physical psychiatrist, there's online ones.
Right.
There's BetterHelp. There's Talkspace. There's ways to work through it. So I think now with all the resources that are available, there's less of an excuse to beat it. But 20 years ago, it is different. So like with the times, like there's gonna be ways to pretty much beat every mental ailment. And like I said, outside of just being in a chemical imbalance. And I think the chemical imbalance thing plays a big part as well as the mental state.
Yeah.
And so you have people who take different medications and stuff for which helps. Because if you have a good life and everything else is cool, but for some reason you're just not happy, in the sense no matter what you do and you are trying to get that help, then it comes to a more of a chemical imbalance.
That's another thing too. We talk about chemical imbalances, right? Like where's the
like schizophrenia and stuff like that.
But like what's the root cause of the chemical imbalance?
A lot of our parents did drugs.
Yeah.
A lot of our parents really partied. Like, dude, that's just kind of what it is. Like if you were born in the 80s and early 90s, your parents partied on a different level. Like, I was born addicted to crack. My mom did crack.
Okay.
So was my sister. So that chemical imbalance is built in.
Yeah.
Most people do a lot of, drug culture is so much different than what it was when we were kids and even young adults. So it's like you have a lot of people who use drugs or whose parents use drugs or grandparents have that that sticks with you. That sticks in your DNA. If your great granddaddy was a drunk, your granddaddy was a drunk, your daddy was a drunk, and same thing with your mom, and so on and so forth, you're gonna have that built-in chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
Like people just like within the past 40 years stopped smoking cigarettes while pregnant. Like and I say this like millennials and Gen Z, we're the first generations where our parents actually wanted us as parents. Like if you think about Gen X and Boomers and all the times these niggas got fucking kidnapped, like they're trying to cut costs. Like, oh, when we played, we had monkey bars over a fucking pit of fire. Like, bro, your parents are trying to get rid of you. They just couldn't. They had to make it look like an accident. Like a Lil Duval posted something, and he was like, I remember my grandmother took us to the mall and she said, be back in 2 hours. And she left us. And we had to walk the Matthews Bridge. And he shows the Matthews Bridge in fucking Jacksonville. Fam, that shit looks longer than 670.
Yeah.
So it's like, if your mom or dad was like, hey, and to your daughters, like, hey, be at this place in 2 hours or you're getting left, and then they left them, the amount of people that would be needed to pull you off of your parents for doing that to your child, like millennials, our parents wanted us.
Dude, I'm scared to go into like a trampoline park and just be away from her,
bro. Our parents are like our parents are just like, please, someone take this motherfucker because he's costing us too much money. Like Gen X, Gen X and Boomers are trying to pass on trauma as toughness. Like, no, like, fam, y'all could smoke in cars, y'all could smoke everywhere.
Yeah,
they were trying to off you.
Can you hand me that big ass bottle?
This one?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
it's a football.
Yeah, it is.
It's bigger than a football, actually.
Dude. But yeah, man, like, I think depression and trauma responses, we're all now able to learn to get through it. So, like, 20 years from now, there's going to be no excuse.
Yeah.
Because everyone is going to know what a trigger is. Everyone is going to know what a way to fix it is, too. You're drinking that straw. Oh, no, you're putting the Calypso.
Yeah. You said what?
The Calypso, I forgot you're putting that in there.
Yeah.
Why you cunt? I thought you were about to do that straight. I've seen a girl do that.
What?
Drink fucking Patron straight without the face. I was like, bro, you're drinking to forget.
I mean, I could do that.
I never want to do that. I like the destination.
Yeah.
Think about it. I like the destination. I hate to travel.
You need some more ice, man? It's melted.
No, I'm good.
Grab me one of them big drinks, man. The big cubes.
I like it. I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
You know, I try to be a good host. You know?
No, you're bro. It's perfect. This is great. I love it, man. This is dope. Podcasting is dope.
Podcasting is dope. What's really good? It's your boy Dex. Welcome to the Visually. I just fucked that whole thing up. Anyways, here we go. I fuck it up every time. You know why? There's too many names, man. I got Visually Dex. I got Perception is Key podcast.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So, anyways, what's really good? It's your boy Dex on the Perception is Key podcast. I got my boy Terrell with me. What's poppin'? We just started the podcast. We really had some good conversations before the podcast started.
All that stuff we missed?
That's just intro.
Oh my gosh, that's dope. No, man, it's good to see you, my brother. We first met at Teleperformance in 2007.
Yeah, man. You know,
everybody, and if you haven't,
I don't put that on my resume, but you know, whatever.
If you have, like, everybody at some point has worked at Teleperformance.
Yeah, you know,
it was just easy. We used to do mad overtime too,
bro. I remember I did a 36-hour shift. I worked my shift all the way to my next shift, and I had to go home like 2 hours early because I was about to fall asleep.
Bro, you were up for 36 hours.
Bro, I literally stayed there the whole time on the phones for 36 hours.
This is a grind.
Hard working, man.
Yeah.
You gonna get that from none of these guys right now.
I like a grind. Like, at my last job, I was doing work from home stuff. I would do like my 8 and then go to the gym and then come back and do another 4, like 5 days a week. And then on my off days, I would do like 5-6 hours that day. Yeah.
No, I mean, I rock with overtime. I think too much overtime is good. I think, honestly, a sweet spot for overtime is like 55 hours. 55 hours, you don't get too many taxes.
That makes sense.
Once you hit 60, it's just, man.
Yeah, I would hit like 130 hours on a paycheck. But my thing is too is like I'd rather do that than work another job. No, I'm not the type of person to work 2 jobs at the same. Because when I did that, I was burnt out.
Yeah. No, so like my whole thing right now is just I don't even want to work a job. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily because I don't. You know, it's not
fun.
It's not. Yeah. I mean, it's the American thing to do, right? Work a job. My whole thought process is how do I get some passive income, so that way I can have more time. Time to me is really all they're paying us for is our time. We get paid hourly. If you work an hourly job, or even if you work a salary job, they still pay you for your time at the job. You know, so I want to get to a point where, like, you know, something is reeling in some extra money for me, so that way I don't have to work, and that way I could focus more on shit like this. You know what I mean? And do stuff for my daughter. Be able to be in her life more. You know what I'm saying? I'm in her life. I'm a really active dad. Like what I mean, a lot more active than most dads. You know what I'm saying in general, just because I choose to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, being able to do that is just it's different. You know what I mean?
I don't mind. I get it. I don't mind working, but the career field I'm in, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it like my thing is too is like, yo, I want to be able to work remotely. Like if I have to go into an office, I'm fine on that because I want to be able to travel. Be like, yo, I might miss a few hours because I'm on a flight to this place, but as soon as I land, clock in, knock shit out. Like that to me is what I like in the challenge of it. Like, and I'm learning cloud security now, cloud engineering and stuff like that. That to me is fucking fun. Yeah. And so it's just like the mental jousting of trying to problem solve. Is one of those things that I love. Yeah.
So speaking of traveling and everything, like I went to Tulum like maybe a year or two ago.
Where's Tulum?
It's like south of Cancun.
Oh, Mexico.
It's like maybe like 2 hours south of Cancun. Yeah, Mexico on the Yucatan Peninsula. I think that's what they call it.
Yucatan, yeah, it is.
Anyways, there's this Facebook group called Black in Tulum, right? So basically, when you go to Tulum, you log in on that Facebook group. You start seeing what they're doing because they actually have like events. They do like a brunch, and then all these black people go to brunch at this one place, and then they do like a yacht party. Well, we did a whole yacht party.
Nice.
You pay the person from Black in Tulum, and they show up. You get on a bus, and they take you to the yacht, and then you hop on the yacht with all these black people. It's just dope, right?
Nice.
So when I was there, I was you start talking to people and trying to figure out what they want. This girl, she was working. She'd been in Tulum for 2 months. I'm like, yo, how are you making your bread? Like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I still working. I have a job in America. I just work remotely. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sometimes my Wi-Fi gets spunky, but other than that, like I'm in there and I'm working from the Airbnb. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's
the life.
It is. Even it made customer service like super easy because I'm at the crib. Yeah. I was able to enjoy working the hours that I did because I didn't have to go anywhere. Like if I want to get lunch, I can just go. You don't have to deal with all for politics. Like I said, for what I do and what I want. If I have to do anything, I'd rather either work remotely in tech or warehousing. Yeah. Just because I know how to drive equipment, fucking put on some music, and then I fucking zone out.
Yeah. Yeah, I moved my way up in like management in a warehouse, like really
I just
crazy.
Hate retail.
So I think my passion is just people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? I like motivating people. I like not only just being an advocate for them, but if we're gonna be working together, man, I'm gonna make sure that I'm taking care of you. You know what I'm saying? And building trust with these people, so that way, like like a lot of people go through a lot of things. And you think about it at the end of the day. Have you ever gone a whole day without talking to anybody?
Kinda.
I mean, just in general, like
in general, no. Because even when I was in Portland, even though I was dolo, I would still talk to the gym attendants and stuff. Yeah, shit was dope.
Well, I mean, imagine if the gym attendants weren't talkative.
Yeah. But so I guess caveat. I talked to because I had roommates when I was there, but like when I go to gym, like I'm not getting the gym etiquette. Like I am super in my own zone. Yeah. And one of the weirdest things is just like when you go, like the gym I went to, Snap Fitness. There's this blonde John that lived there, and I went there.
John, let's go, baby.
God, she's fucking gorgeous, but I made it a point to not even be like I can't even have this bitch in my fucking sideline because every nigga on the fucking play, she had a ass bigger than anything. Like it was crazy. She was like a trainer, so I'm just like, bro, I'm gonna do my workout. I'm gonna focus. And then I remember one day, I was doing my workouts and shit, and she like everywhere I went, she ended up in my sight line. I'm like, I am not falling for this shit. Yeah. Like, no, I'm gonna do my workouts facing the fucking wall. You ain't gonna see me. But I get that. Like, being able to connect with people in a real way is important, and no matter where it's at. And I think that's a good quality that you have to just like, yo, if I'm gonna be around you for 8+ hours a day, I want to have some sort of positive rapport. Like, this shit's dope as hell.
I mean, what do you remember about that? Because I don't really remember too much about teleperformance, honestly.
Redhead chick.
don't remember that either.
I remember her. She's dope. She lived in Hilliard. No, I remember. It was cool. Like other than I remember Brema, who was from Gambia.
Oh yeah,
the African dude.
Have you still talk to him?
I haven't talked to that.
It'd be nice to link up with him again.
There's the other Somalian dude who's like, this is the first conversation I had about the Islamic religion with a Muslim person. He was like, we're talking about why they don't eat pork.
Yeah.
I was like, one of the reasons was wild as shit. Not that it's unhealthy, not that it's unclean. It's like, nah, the pig is the only animal that'll watch its mate have sex with another pig and not do anything. And I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about a pig's sexual kinks.
It's some humans that do that.
Like what? Yeah. I was like, what? Like, that's a weird fucking reason. Like, okay. Oh, I remember this other, her name was Anas. She was Syrian. Anas Ramadan. She was rich. She had a fucking... we worked in 2007. She had like a 2005 like 2-door BMW, and that motherfucker would burn. Oh my god, she let me drive that shit. But then Ramadan came, which is funny.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't kiss me like that whole 30 days. Like,
but she kissed you before.
Yeah. I went for the usual. And she's like, no, I can't do it. I was like, what? She's like, it's Ramadan. I was like, and you're not Muslim. I'm like, my penis has been in your mouth. But, oh, okay. Like, now all I was like, I'm watching. Niggas got wait that 31 days. Like, but that was a fun time. Like, being around people who were Muslim, because I hadn't been around people Muslim.
Yeah.
So like seeing them pray and talking to them about the religion and understanding a lot more about it than most 20-year-olds get a chance to unless you grew up around them was dope. I love teleperformance. I love the people that I worked with.
Yeah. I mean, I would say teleperformance was a big part of me, like getting used to like different cultures for sure.
Facts.
But you got to think about it. Like people like us, there's a lot of people that wouldn't normally like talk to those type of people. You know, we had 9/11 just not too long before that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it wasn't short, but it wasn't too long ago.
Right.
Yeah. It was it's still in such a time where people were still talking about it. And
facts.
And we were just very open minded about that and just talking to people and getting to know them. I remember Naima.
Yeah.
I remember Dadir. There was just a lot of really good people there. You know what I mean?
They had the nicest hair.
Justin J. Wood was there. You know, I don't remember him. He was that teleperformance. Maybe not at the same. I don't know. I don't remember how long I was working there. Maybe
I was there from April 07 to December 07.
Yeah.
That was but I enjoyed that because that's like my first time having it because I had a car.
Yeah.
And so literally every day, unless I was kicking it with you, I would because it worked off of Sawmill.
Yeah.
And I lived in fucking essentially Bexley, but Greenbrier, whatever, out east. Yeah. And so I would get off work at 1 a.m. I wasn't partying because I was only 20.
Yeah.
And we're working, like my shift was 5 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So even if I did want to go to a fucking club, this just closing an hour anyway.
Yeah.
I would go to the Ohio State soccer fields. There'd be no one there. I'd kick the ball, practice, shit like that, and head home around 3 and do that shit every fucking day. I loved it. I loved the routine. Like I work really well when I have a routine of me being productive.
Yeah. See, I was 4 to 10 or 2 to 10. One of those. I don't know.
But you would kick it.
Right at 10, head straight to the club. Change my shirt in the car, head straight to the club. Because I was a club promoter then.
Yeah.
You know? So I had to be at the club. Working teleperformance left, go straight to the club. And then be back at it the next day. You know what I mean? Back at work the next day. It was a crazy time.
It was like, bro, just being that carefree. Like that was a one time where it kind of felt like as carefree as high school.
Yeah.
Like I was telling I have a little step brother, and he's going into high school. I was like, dude, the summer going into your senior year is probably going to be, as long as everything's cool, it's going to be the best. Yeah. Because you have no responsibilities, no deep expectations about what you're going to do with college and everything else. It's just like everyone is knowing you're going to do some fun shit. You're finna do a bunch of shit that is going to be fun. And
you mean from 11th to 12th? Is that something?
From 11th to 12th,
yeah.
Like that. And I was thinking about that, like, I would go back to the summer 2004 going into my seniors, like, because I was just, it's so carefree and everything was all potential. And as soon as you graduate, everything turns into business. Yeah. What's your major? What are you going to study? What are you going to do about internships next summer and everything else? Like,
and if you don't do any of that, get a job, you know?
Yeah. Get a job. You go into the military. So, like, growing up where I grew up, Pickerington, Ohio, for people who don't, and that's east of Columbus, like, it was a legit expectation of you going to college. It wasn't like, oh, are you graduating? It's like, no, what college are you going to, and how much scholarship money are you getting? Like, that kind of expectation gets thrusted upon you at 18, and everybody wants you to have the next 4 to 5 years figured out, and then you get to 22, 23, it's like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at 18. And
yeah, I mean, for me, it was a whole different story. I think when I graduated, everything was way more nonchalant. You know,
you were 04, right?
04.
Got you.
So when I graduated, you know, I was just looking for jobs. No, I tried to get into the military. I had I didn't know I had like a health issue going on at the time, and so I couldn't get into the military. It's like, yo, what am I gonna do next? And I was telling my mom, like, I'm about to apply for college. I'm about to go to DeVry. You know, you don't have to do your ACT, SATs, none of that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go to DeVry. Like, you know, I like computers anyways. I do you know, I do all this computer work at you know, I fix your computer as many times as I went on BearShare and LimeWire and crashed it. You know what I mean?
Kids don't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Crashed your computer and fixed it like right there. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to I'm gonna definitely go to DeVry and learn electronics, computer technology. And then I went, and then like everything just hit all at once. Like, my mom, her job didn't work for her, and then I was working at Walmart at the time. This was before Teleperformance. I was working at Walmart, and freaking, I couldn't pay for anything working at Walmart. Plus, I wanted to have fun at the same time. But I don't really think I spent my money on too much shit. You know what I mean? Besides, I really don't know what I spent my money on, to be honest. Like, back then, like, it couldn't have been much.
Gas?
That was pretty much it.
And gas was like cheap. Food. Yeah, gas super cheap. Gas was like 2020 range.
Like 98 cents, $1.25.
Right.
That's probably the thing. $1.25 was like crazy. I mean, I could kill for $1.25.
Bro, I think most people would go back to boomers and Gen X. Like, I'll sacrifice one of my kids to get that shit back.
I remember 98 cents in high school.
Yeah, I remember
If it got to $1, everybody was worried about it going to $1. It was like, yo, it was like 97, 98. And then it would go down to like 80 sometimes. And then everybody was worried about it going over that dollar. Because if it went over the dollar, oh, we're not getting gas. We're staying at home. You know what I mean? Bro. And now it's like $4.70.
I'll tell you this. I remember my senior year, I put $20 in an Oldsmobile Alero. Not Alero. That was the other car. I had an Oldsmobile. And I drove to Youngstown. No map. Just following the street signs. Like, my knowledge of the city of Columbus was literally knowing how to get to New Salem Baptist Church and back home, or knowing how to get to Easton because it was on 270. If you ask me before 2007 how to get to Ohio State, do not know.
Bro, our cell phones are black and white. Had what, Pong on it?
Oh my God. Like, they charged for text.
Yes.
Sending a text was 10 cents.
10 cents a text.
Bro. Like, that probably cut back on a lot of BS. Girls would send you like whole fucking paragraphs. Yeah. Like, nah.
Yeah, because it would chop them up. It'd be like 50 cents for one text.
Bro, and then I had homies who had T9.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And I never learned that shit. That shit is weird.
I had a homeboy. My homeboy D now.
I would have to tap 8 times to get to the letter or the number.
a lot all these emojis and shit. Like,
yeah. And then they came out with the sidekick, and we were good. You know what I mean?
I never got the sidekick.
That was me. I was a sidekick boy.
Bro, yeah, sidekicks was always had to flip because that's when having a flip was dope. I remember
we used to have to make girls email nudes.
Dude, oh man, I used to get them to my work computer. So I get this Canadian John named Emily. Shouts to M, you're dope. And
hey, Emily, send us a nude.
She used to email me. I had a couple. You know my thing too, when I was at Teleperformance, I remember doing a lot of fucking driving. Yeah. Like from 05 to like 09, my nigga. Yeah. I was on the road.
Bro, I remember it was me and my cousin. So I got my cousin to job at Teleperformance. I'm like, bro, you better stay here. You got 2 checks to bounce. Bro, whatever, man.
What are you doing?
Yeah, but anyways, we used to hop in the Quip. You know, I had a little Honda Civic.
Yep.
And I'd be going 120 miles down the freeway. 120 miles an hour down the freeway. Just, you know what I mean? To get to Teleperformance from all the way out east.
Jeez.
So, you know, Sawmill's kind of far from out here.
Yeah, it is.
And I lived about the same distance that I did then, you know, about from there. So, like, yeah, bro, we used to get it. I remember this girl, her name was Shartia. Shartia her car was messed up. So I used to be like, yo, don't worry, I'll give you a ride to work. So I used to get my cousin and her, and we would carpool to work.
Nice.
And then I would drop her off and then come home. My cousin would stay with me. But yeah, a lot of driving. A lot of driving.
I used to drive to Zanesville a lot. For some odd reason, I had like 2 or 3 chicks from Zanesville that I'd mess with around that time.
Yeah.
So I'm going from Dublin to Zanesville. One time I went, but then like I didn't have any fucking money to get back to the crib. I only had it on a card. And I couldn't, like, you couldn't go to the ATM.
Yeah.
I was in Zanesville till fucking Monday. And I went to the Chase Bank and like, hey, I need $10. Got that shit, put it, and I was like, bro. And then I had to ask my mom for like $25 because I got paid late. We got paid later that week.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm in fucking Zanesville, broke. This shit sucked. And I had to stay in this girl's room because her parents are mad racist and they didn't know I was there.
Yeah. Yo.
The things we did.
Bro, me and my best friend Mike. So it's me, Mike, I think it was Guy, and my boy named Buddy. So it's all 4 of us, man. We hop in my little ass Honda Civic. And Mike's from Pittsburgh. Everybody's like, yo, I'll give you some gas money when we go to Pittsburgh.
I drove to Pittsburgh in 07 off that
Bro,
shit.
those hills on the way there.
Yeah, fucking scary.
But low, we're going 120 miles. When we hit my whole car bottoms out at the bottom of the hill that we go up. We're like,
Slow.
Bro, I will never forget those hills on the way to Pittsburgh, but we got it. We got there and we got back on my little ass Honda Civic, bro. I've done
that's probably like
journeys.
Yeah,
I took that Civic to Houston. You know they stole that Civic 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
What they do and give it back? Like
no. So they stole my car, right? And they like I don't know. It's a thing in Houston where if they steal your car, they park it in a random hotel, like a random complex, a random apartment complex. And most of them are always gated, so like you can't get in to find it. Had a GPS tracker on it, so it was hooked up and hidden real good. So they couldn't find it unless they really went through the car and like checked it. And it, Honda Civics are easy to decipher, right?
Especially back then.
Facts. When my boys show me how easy it is to steal a Honda Civic, all you do is, and don't put me on American Most Wanted Criminals. You take the cover of the steering column. There's like 2 screws on the ignition switch. You unscrew the screws, and then you could just flick it with your fingernail and start up the car. Because the key is what bypass, like the steering lock is here.
Yeah.
But the 2 screws that hold the switch, because it's just a switch. It's just like a light switch up and down. There's no lock to it, but there's a lock for you to be able to hit that switch. And that's bypassing the whole ignition, and you just switch it on.
That's crazy.
So once I figured out that's how easy it was to steal my Civic, I was like, why did I put so much money into it? With the suspension and the wheels and the rims and throwing it on, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, they stole it 3 times. So I found it in an apartment complex the first time. I had like maybe $500 worth of tools. I had like nice tools that I was just, because I had to fix my car every time it broke down. I had to get out and fix it. You know what I mean? So they stole it the second time. Second time was bad. They stole my car the second time, took all my wheels, they took everything, gutted it out. I got pictures. Gutted it out, you know what I mean? And I had to wait for my friend to come through and bring me some extra like wheels so I can, because they put me on 4 donuts.
Damn.
And my shit was already as low as it could go with 16-inch wheels.
Jeez.
Donuts is way smaller, so I wouldn't be able to drive it. It was just literally on the ground. So my boy came, helped me put some, some fake, some regular steel drums on there. And even then, I got stuck, like, trying to get out the parking lot. My shit just got stuck because it was so low.
Jeez.
But,
oh, my God.
Yeah, the third time, I think they had to tow it because, like, my starter broke. I had it on by 1 bolt. You have 2 bolts to put a starter on. And I had it on by 1 bolt. And when you start, your engine shakes. And I had bad engine mounts. You know what I mean? But who cares? It's just engine mounts. But I didn't think about it. I broke one of the bolts, so I only had 1 bolt, so I had the starter shut down on 1 bolt because I didn't fix everything on that car. You would think I was a mechanic. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I didn't fix the starter on it, so the starter broke on it, so I had the starter in the house, and the battery was off it. So my GPS tracker isn't working because the battery, the GPS tracker only holds a certain amount of time of battery.
Right.
So I think they had to tow it because no way you could get it out of there.
Yeah.
Without a starter and a battery, unless you bought your own starter and battery. You knew I didn't have it in there. So at that time, I just bought a new car, so I just went to the back and I was like, okay. Went to the front, Where did I park my car?
Bro, they got me again.
It was like, dude, where's my car? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, but they got me again, bro. That shit was fucking discouraging. And that's the same Honda Civic I had out here.
Bro, Houston, Texas is wild.
Wow, it's a good city. I love it.
I would be like, man, fuck y'all.
I got some real friends out there. Shout out to my man Parents. Shout out to my man Brian. Shout out to my man Flacco. Pretty much the three biggest people that I hang out with, you know what I'm saying, as far as like, you know, people that I met in Houston. Everybody else that are friends from Houston, like, are from Virginia that moved out there, you know what I mean? So, but those are my three boys, man. I really rock with them hard. They, you know, I was gonna call my boy Brian today because he always calls me, and I was just gonna, you know, hit him up and just see how he's doing. You know, you gotta reciprocate that energy, man.
Yeah,
you got
you
friendships. You know what I'm saying? And like, I know I haven't talked to you in a minute, but I'm gonna check up on you too, bro. Just to see.
The thing is, like with social media,
You kind of feel connected.
We have interactions. So it's like we
Yeah.
may not have a full conversation,
Right.
phone conversation, but we have interactions.
Facts.
So it's like I think that is becoming important.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, all right, hey, I see what Dex is doing. Send a like.
Yeah.
I'm notorious for liking everything. I'm engaging all the fucking
Yeah.
time.
Same.
They're just like, hey man, I see you. Like,
Yeah.
hey, if you. So it's like, and I think you leave that door open. It's like, hey man, oh, this is nice. You come like, oh man, that's funny. Or we send somebody like memes and shit like that. So I think in the social media age, it's going to allow for interactions as much as genuine connections.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what we have. Because everybody's become busy, but it's like, bro, there's literally everyone you can get in touch with.
Right on your fingertips.
Right on your fingertips. And we never had that before. Bro, I remember I got one more teleperformance story. So I was messing, but I was talking to this chick from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
That's a weird ass place.
Ain't it? And what happened was, she was like, this is when the internet was a place she went to. I didn't have it on my phone or nothing. Yeah. She was like, hey, when you get on break, call me. I was like, all right, bet. Thinking nothing of it. And so she was like, hey, when I got outside, I was like, hey, what's going on? She was like, hey, what's the password to your Facebook? I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, oh, you got me. I'm like, all right, cool. Play this off. I was like, fuck it. I was like, whatever. Because I was 20, living reckless. And so I was like, oh man. So I gave her my password. She saw everything.
Damn. Why'd you give her your password?
Because she was sexy. And I was stupid. And I was like, maybe I can fucking salvage this. And I did for a little bit, but I just can't believe you're talking to so many girls at the same time. I was like, bitch, I am 20 years old. I am just out the fucking Navy. Like, that I got kicked out of. Like, hey, what do you want to do? But I think that was funny. I had one girl, oh God, this is horrible. One girl used to hack my Facebook every day.
How did she do it? She just like answer your questions?
Yes, Facebook. No, like Facebook had a thing called like Facebook interview.
Yeah.
And I literally gave everything to fucking hack my shit in the interview. What's the name of your first pet? Kayla. One of the things like, so she would get into my email, hack my shit, and then she started messaging every girl that she thought, even girls I wouldn't even talk to, like even cousins and stuff, like wild shit. And like, that's the thing too, is like, she could have just been like, you're a dog, I'm not talking to you anymore, we're done. But like, she did all that shit, and we were still together for like 3 months after. And I remember she told me, she's like, hey, I remember we had just got done getting it cracking, and she was like, hey, I gotta say something. I was like, man, she's gonna say she's pregnant. Fuck. It was worse. Like, I was the girl that was hacking your Facebook. I'm like, you're so lucky we just got done fucking, because if you were a nigga right now, we'd be going at it. Like, the amount of RKOs you would be receiving back to back, ungodly. I was like, damn. So it's like, now any of that shit, you're not getting me. Hey, when everybody graduated from high school, fuck you. You're not getting me, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Where were you born?
Like, nope.
Fucking Indiana, bitch. No.
Like Mars. Yep.
Yeah,
me and Spike Lee, Mars Blackman.
Nah, but
Instagram's hilarious though, dude.
what's that?
Instagram's hilarious. Like, Instagram is the best way to promote some pussy, is what Kendrick Lamar said on No More Parties in LA.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. That was a dope line, and I realized that because remember the gym girl I was telling you about?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I got her Instagram. And I was like, I think this bitch sells pussy, because going to a lot of exotic, like, girls have tells. Yeah. And I don't know if they know this, but I watch it, because when you're a dude, you're a hunter. So you kind of got to watch for a way to get in. But like, if I see a girl that's young looking, and I know she doesn't make a lot of money, but she's in constant super nice locales,
Yeah.
and there's not a fucking picture of a Rolex or a picture with her dad, like, and there's no boyfriend in the picture, someone's paying for that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I know you ain't paying. Now, I'm not hating. By all means, get your money, get your trips.
Yeah.
But just like,
well, they talk about that boat party shit. Like if you on a boat, like
I know you don't have a boat.
Who's driving it?
right. Like,
But I mean, that's cool. That's dope. I mean,
I get, but just like,
I wish me personally, if I could get on the boat and if I could get on the boat, I would do it. You feel me?
I dig it and I get it. Just like, bro, like sugar babies and escorts, like there's gonna be more and more accepted because I don't think people are gonna care now. If you're a dude and you're chasing that type of chick, one, don't complain about that shit if you're chasing it.
Facts, yo.
Like
100%.
like the whole like fresh and fit or anything other, cause like don't complain about the girls that you're choosing to date. Like girls in Columbus and girls in Portland are way different than girls in Miami.
So let me ask you a question. In your journey, in your dating life, like what would you consider your go-to or your type, or what do you look for in a woman?
What do I look for physically? So I figured out
total package.
Total package. So I figured out that I can't do big boobs, no ass. I can do no boobs, no ass. I can do no boobs, nice ass. I can't do big boobs, no ass.
You just like
it's
ass.
just it's a different level of depression.
What
Like
do you mean?
most of my baby moms are big.
Like overweight.
Yeah, I mean they're like, no, my ex-wife was like thicker when we got together. My first baby mom, she was big. My second baby mom, she was big.
What's their ethnicities?
Oh, they're white.
I already
Yeah.
knew, but I just had to.
Yeah,
you
they're
had to tell the family.
extremely white. They definitely need to put on suntan lotion or it's bad. But for me, it's like I come from, so growing up in the suburbs, beauty's seen differently. Like all the hottest girls in my school were athletes. Like even when I went to Central State, which is a black college for everyone else, like, oh man, that girl's so sexy, and like you see the gut spill over, and like I was like, one, I'm not against it like at all, but just like she's doable, but like I don't. So it's like I like athletic girls. Like I like female bodybuilders. To me, hello. Yeah, I did because I like athletic women, and it also forces you to be better.
Yeah. It gives
like
you,
if your
gives you
girl
something to work towards you.
Facts. Like if your girl can fucking tricep dip 200, you're gonna be like, I need to get my tricep dips up.
Or when y'all having sex, she lift you up. Put you on that
Calling
counter.
you a hoochie daddy, unironically.
Shout out to the hoochie daddy shorts.
A lot of thigh.
A lot of thigh showing.
But yeah,
it's almost like porn, man. We might get banned on YouTube. What's happening?
Oh, that would be so great. I like total package. Like, I like girls that are intellectually curious. Like I'm really big politically.
Okay.
So, like not even just American politics, but international, and I like talking about all that stuff. Okay. So a girl that's into that, cool. Even if we don't agree on opinions, I at least want you to have an opinion on it.
Right.
I like girls that aren't too, and I don't mean not materialistic in the sense of like I'm not materialistic, but like everyone I grew up with came from money.
Yeah.
So money wasn't really phasing anybody. Like, because there's no matter, even in high school, no matter what you do for a girl, like, you couldn't just go like, hey, girl, I got $100,000. Her dad makes more than that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take her to Hilton Head. She already goes to Hilton Head yearly with her family. Like, oh, you want to take her to Miami? She already goes to fucking Miami. Like, there's nothing you can do. So, a lot of it personality-wise.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I like, too. Like, anyone who's always talking about money, who's money motivated, I get it. We need it to live. Everybody likes being comfortable and having nice things. But if your whole situation is I gotta get the bag, I cannot fuck with you.
Okay.
Because you're not gonna mix in with any of the people that I grew up with that also have money. Like I can't take you home to my parents who have 2 degrees and have money. My aunts and uncles, everybody has money, and your whole thing is just like, oh, let's all talk about money. We don't discuss that.
Yeah.
We discuss like connections and real like friendships and community because. And you've been married and I've been married too. Like when the community that you're trying to build within the marriage and surrounding it, if that doesn't work, no matter how much money you have, it's gonna fucking fall apart.
Yeah, thanks. I'll give you my perception on like kind of like what I look for when I look into a woman. Mm-hmm. Sorry guys, but the hoochie daddy shorts are off the market for fellas. I'm consider a sapiosexual. Okay. You can want some of that calypso, but go ahead, man. Just try some. Yeah, we out here, man. It's just calypso. So I consider myself a sapiosexual. So intelligence is important.
Facts.
Intelligence is important. When I gotta have these type of conversations that I'm having with you right now,
Right.
with whoever my significant is. We gotta have like some real drawn out conversations. We gotta think about things. And not only that, like individuality is huge for me too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Hawaiian Punch lemonade. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Whitewater Wave.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. So, individuality is cool. Like, so there's some main superheroes, right? You think about Spider-Man. Everybody likes Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Everybody likes what? Batman. Mm-hmm. Everybody likes Superman. Maybe. Everybody has a Superman shirts, whatever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But imagine you like Captain America. How many people like Captain America?
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? Or like for me, my superheroes, I'm a big X-Men person. It's Gambit.
Oh, my nigga. Yo.
Mine is Gambit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude.
You said it at the same time.
Yes.
So I'm a big Gambit guy. Gambit is my dude. Like I would get a Gambit tattoo. That's why my rap name is Spades. A part of it. It makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm a big Gambit character. Like as far as like my favorite character, if you want to talk about like Marvel, is Gambit. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's dope, and I wish they would do a whole movie on him because he's just fire. Like he's super suave. You know what I mean? His character, but like if you like Captain America, that speaks a lot about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're saying, hey, you don't care what the rest of the people are thinking, and not only that, that's saying, hey, you like Captain America, but also you're the same way that you are about choosing your superheroes or the things that you like in your rest of your life. So I want somebody with a little bit more individuality than just, hey, well, I'm going to watch what everybody else is watching. I'm going to do what everybody else is doing. I'm going to buy the Jordans because everybody buys Jordans. Or I'm going to, I have my own particular taste.
Yeah. For
one, what that does for me individually is because I'm a person that's a good host, a good caterer. I like to cater to people, right? I like to do things for people. And it just makes me feel good to do it. And I don't expect nothing from it. I like doing shit for people.
Moving in righteousness.
Yeah, moving in righteousness. So if I know you have particular things about you, you know what I mean? Maybe your favorite drink is apple juice. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bring you some apple juice to your crib. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna clown you about Captain America because nobody else likes him but you. And then
Bucky, that's it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to talk shit about you, but in a respectful way to make you feel like hey, it's love instead of hate. You know what I'm saying? So, I think those are the big things for me as far as looks. Looks are cool.
I can't do petite.
Looks are cool. I get it. Like we all want something to hold on to. Looks are cool, but it doesn't matter. Like I need the looks to go along with your mentality. You know what I'm saying? So 100%, man. You got to be working towards something. You can't just be a regular person, bro. You can't be a bystander fucking with me because I'm not a bystander. I got high value energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very outgoing person. I'm able to move rooms. I'm able to do things that a lot of people can't do. And a lot of people can do, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm exceptional in the shit that I do. So I can't be with somebody who's not even a little bit there, you know what I'm saying? At least 50% that way, you know what I mean? Or has the potential to be. And maybe when I get to them, I can draw that out of them and make them think differently. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's kind of like my whole thought about like the shit that I like. I like individuality and I like intelligence. Those are two things that I think are super important when you're talking about women, because women really like to fit their mold sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I love women to death. Don't get me wrong. A lot of women like to fit the mold. There's a lot of women that are into whatever is popular. Whatever Kim Kardashian is doing, whatever Mulatto is doing, whatever Nicki Minaj is doing. That shit is weird. You know what I'm saying? They follow Beyonce like she's queen of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she is, you know what I'm saying? That is cool. Like, I respect it. If that's what you do, that's what you do. But have some individuality about yourself so where you're not following the tribe. You're not following it's not even a tribe at that point. It's just a fucking movement. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to Beyonce or all those people I just mentioned, but what I'm just trying to say is that don't follow the crowd, because I'm never going to follow the crowd. Right. When you got a 6'4", 295 pound dude, you know what I'm saying, wearing Vans and hoochie daddy shorts, he's not following the crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not following the crowd, so I don't want to be with somebody who's going to be following the crowd.
for me, it's like with the intellectually ambitious, like, do you want to know more?
Yeah.
And I think
Facts.
I think the difference is
Before you go, pass me that bottle right there.
this one.
Yeah. I need you to sign the cork.
Oh, nice.
All right, yeah, keep going.
So my thing is, and you have to look at a lot of times because humans are animals,
Yeah,
and
by nature. That's my shit.
yeah, we are
Nature.
If you
Are you big on nature?
I am, but like, let me.
All right, go ahead.
Like, so it's like you have to think of the roles that we've played, and you look at the animal kingdom. Like when the young lion or the young wolf comes of age, if it's a male wolf, he's kicked out of the pack or the pride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so he has to.
You do the honors.
He has to forage on his own. He has to look for his own. He has to create his own. And when he goes into another pack to get a mate, there's going to be some static.
Yeah.
And I think there's a comfortability, which why you don't. For me, you don't see a lot of women, at least in my travels, you don't see a lot of women move too far from home.
Yeah.
They always stay in what is safe and comfortable. Now, a lot of it for safety.
Yeah.
Like if you're from Columbus and you're a girl, there's more likely you're not going to move to San Francisco or LA just because there's an inherent danger
Right.
of being a woman. Like that's just objectively true.
Unless you got something like waiting for you there. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you have some way for, but like to just go like, you know what, I want to move to New York City and you've never been there, never visited or nothing.
Don't
like,
have any family there or anything.
that's rare. But for a dude, like my dad moved from Mississippi to Columbus.
Right.
My mom moved from Cleveland to where she went to college in Cincinnati to Columbus, but her whole family was in Columbus.
Yeah.
So even though she did move, she stayed in the same culture.
You're right. She had something like waiting. Like,
Yeah.
What we were just saying.
So it's like with dudes, we're supposed to be individuals. Like that's the thing that allows us to attract women. Like unless you're just so hot that her biology overtakes her social instincts.
Yeah, social instincts. I like that.
So it's like that's kind of what we do. So I don't really fault girls for when I meet them and they're not as individualistic or as intellectually ambitious as I would like. But there's also room for growth because as dudes we understand development.
Yeah, I mean
We understand getting better. Like I played soccer from my freshman year to my senior year, I got exceptionally better, and we understand the goal is to get better.
Yeah,
it's not to be perfect right out the gate. And so with guys like that's why you'll see a guy who like Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
he'll date a woman who never make anything as much as him, but like he understands that if me and her kick it enough, we can both develop into something really special. And I think for dudes, we're allowed to do that because we have that freedom of not having, for the most part, to worry about our safety. I think a lot of women like a guy that is a finished product or close to it because the risk of him not reaching his potential or not being near it could fall back, especially if she gets pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can fumble around and kind of make our mistakes when we're younger because one, we don't have a biological clock. But two, when you become a father, we're learning on the job. We don't have that intrinsic connection biologically to the kid. We form it naturally, and I think that's more of a socialization than it is a natural thing. Because if you look at most animals, the dad creates a kid, and if the dad just fucks off, that mom still has to take care of the kid.
Yeah.
No matter what, from other than most sexually dimorphic animals like penguins and like some birds and other things like that.
So all right, talking about that, go ahead and pop that, man.
Oh yeah, caught you. Oh,
Yes,
nice.
sir.
I thought you said you need me to sign it. I'm like, how do I sign
You
it?
gonna sign the cork?
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you can go ahead and sign that. I'm gonna throw it in that bottle. You see that bottle back there?
Yeah.
All right, where's your cork shit, man? You supposed to
Oh, my fault.
pour me a glass too, man.
You said sign it. I'm trying to do two things at once.
Yeah, you right.
This is a Mavericks logo. TJ. Hell yeah. Where's that?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it in there eventually.
Cool, bet. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Everybody who comes on the podcast, we pop a bottle. Cheers
Cheers.
to 14 plus years.
Like technically 15 years of friendship.
Yeah,
That's the cool thing about guys.
yeah.
We don't have to be around each other all the time for that.
To still be the same.
Yeah, it's still the same connection from when we first met and became cool.
Yeah.
Just sitting down on the couch.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. It's not like this with everybody that you've known for 14 years.
Facts.
So you have to look at it, and it's always individual.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we're able to say this is because our genuinity, in general,
Mm-hmm.
is there. You know what I mean? So when you meet somebody who has the same, I guess, morals when it comes to friendship,
Yeah.
then it's easy when you get to this point. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, okay, yeah, man, I know John. John's pretty cool. I might not see him. Well, yo, whenever we link, it's gonna be just like it left yesterday.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because John has the same morals, and John is not looking at me like I'm a horrible person because I haven't contacted him in 10 years.
Right.
I like his photos on Facebook. He likes mine. He asks how my kid is doing. I like, as soon as he had his kid, I commented on his shit. It's enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's enough. Women will, like, definitely hold grudges on some shit. Like, yo, you really didn't come to the baby shower. You bitch. You know what I mean?
Bro.
You
I didn't
bitch.
come to the making of the baby either.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
If you're lucky.
No, but facts. I think at the end of the day, though, like, friendships and relationships are important. I was just having a really interesting philosophy yesterday at the bar about relationships. Because women will say, like, women are so keen on using that relationship. We don't have a title. We don't have a thing like this. But, like, listen, you don't understand. If I like you, I'm going to treat you like I like you. And I'm going to be around you like I like you. I'm going to want to spend time like I like you.
A lot of action.
It's a lot of action. It's a lot of things. The title doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? We don't have to have a title. The title is not a deal breaker. Because I want to spend time with you. I freaking like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Likability is way higher on the scale than love is.
Yeah.
So I fucking love my mom. I don't want to have sex with her.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
I like her too. But
I like pizza.
Yeah.
Don't want to fuck the Natos.
But you will make an effort to fucking get you some pizza because of how much you like it, right?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And no matter, the more you like people, the more like you are doing your shit. Like the more you're around your people, you gravitate towards the people you like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for us as men, we like our solitude. We like our, man, this is fucking my place. This is my shit. You know what I mean? This is my solitude. If I bring you my solitude, you got to be adding to it.
Yeah.
So if I want you here more than one time a week, or I want you to. I want you're adding to my piece. So my whole thing with that is this. My whole thing about relationships is, if I meet you at a bar, if I walk into you in the bathroom, and say, hey man, you got a nice fucking beard. We just started a relationship.
Yeah.
It's not as high as a boyfriend girlfriend title. It's not as high as a marriage. It's not as high as a father son. It's not as high as a mother daughter. It's not high as any of those relationships. But it is a relationship. The relationships that you build with people at work, they might have certain levels to it, but eventually they may come full circle. You might meet that guy with a nice beard at your next job interview. And he's the guy at the desk, like, oh, dude, you were at the bar. You said you complimented my beard.
Oh, yeah, especially in Columbus. Like,
Yeah.
that's a good point. I think for me, it's alliances.
Yeah.
Sometimes alliances are as good as friendships because there's an understanding. And I think there's a condition to, like, hey, just keep up your end on the alliance.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, that's what keeps the friendship going.
Yeah.
Like, and to switch it to relationships, like, marriage to me isn't the highest form of romantic love. It's the highest form of friendship.
Yeah.
Because most relationships, and I had this talk with one of my homegirls, shouts to Olivia. I was like, yo, like, relationships, just like being a parent, they're built on those random Tuesday nights in March. It's a lot of laws. Like, everybody wants to post, like, oh, we're in Jamaica, or oh, we're in Miami having fun, or oh, we're going to this fancy restaurant. The relationships are built and maintained in those laws. On those Tuesdays where it's rainy and you're like, hey, what do you want for dinner? Leftovers. That's it. It's not everything's going to be, and we've been tricked by media.
Disney.
A lot of it. Like, most people, not most, but a lot of people grew up with the only functioning relationships they've seen were Carol Winslow and Philip Banks and his wife. Like, so you see the 30-minute everything's happening, so everything has to be an event. We always have to do something. We always have to take pictures together. I do not take a lot of pictures with women that I'm with or when I'm dating, just because we don't have to. I like living in the moment. Now, if it's something that we're doing, cool. But if not, like, this is for us. And a lot of women don't like that. They think, oh, we must be cheating. Like, no, just we come from an analog time where if the people that I love and that I interact with know we're together, then that to me is the most important thing.
But bro, I mean, and not to make you change your opinion, and I know I'm not going to, but what I'm trying to say is this. If your likability towards the persons you're with at the time and is high, and they want to take pictures, just take some fucking pictures.
Oh yeah, I'm never turn it
take some
down,
pictures,
but I'm not gonna be the one. Like when I was like, even with people that I'm friends with, I won't take a lot of pictures with. Like,
here's a mind fuck. I was just talking about this a while, but like what I would say is this. You got to think about the music we played earlier.
Yeah.
Oh,
epic.
Right? You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something about that. You didn't even know about the music. In your mind, you thought we did 2 different tracks.
Yeah. I totally forgot.
You know what I mean? So this is my point about pictures, photography, videography, recordings, etc. In your mind, it's one way.
Yeah.
It's like a Mandela effect thing. You know what I'm saying? In your mind, it's one way. The only thing that makes it valid, even if something happens to you tomorrow, the only thing that makes it valid is somebody's there to verify it.
That makes sense.
And the best way of verifying things is pictures, video, photo, recordings. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So once we got here, and I was able to find those messages. Like, it wouldn't take me long because I got all my shit saved. I got nudes from 2008. But we're gonna, you know what I mean? But like, what I'm trying to say is this: the things that make everything correct and everything and puts everything in alignment is the recording of that memory or that document or that audio recording. Because I remember that verse. I didn't remember I did it with you. I could have thought I did that with my cousin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could have thought I did it with somebody else. But that put everything back into perspective and in alignment, and that made it true. It made it history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It made it valid. You know, it was validation at its prime because we were able to look back at it and say, hey, this is what happened. So if I take a picture and I say, hey, you remember when you were with me on the 5th? And she's like, no, we weren't. The 5th. Yeah. I remember I had to go to a tournament. I had to go to a tennis tournament. I was not with you. And you have a time-stamped photo that says we were here on the 5th at Pauly G's Short North, you know, pizza restaurant, getting pizza together. And she's like, you're right. All of a sudden, her whole idea changed. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's my whole idea on life in general is just that, bro, it's important to document.
It is. It is. And you're right. And when I think about this, like, I had a date on Valentine's Day, and I kind of took pictures. And I think part of it is just that, like, what we put out there digitally is there forever for the most part. So it's like, when it comes to things like people I'm in a relationship with, I feel like if I take the picture and then it falls apart, because you see that happen with girls. Like, they take all these pictures with their dude, they break up, now you gotta delete all that shit. But it's just like, look, fuck. But I get what you're saying is absolutely valid.
I'm not that guy though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I like you, I want to be able to go in my phone and just look at you and just be like, yeah, you're not here, so this is what I got. This is what I have to go off of. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I really miss you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go over your Instagram and stalk it. Let me go to the pictures that we have together. That brings back memories. It brings back a sort of, I can't think of. I gotta do that now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You gotta take more pictures, bro. Yeah, like, bro. I'm just saying, it's important, bro. And for me personally, like, if I really value a person that I'm with or who I'm talking to or I'm hanging out with, you know, 9 times out of 10, I just want to remember the moment. You know what I mean? It you know, even if you're making a fucking porno, you know, with your girl or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they think like, oh, you're gonna show your friends. No, you know, this is going in the Dropbox. This is the spank bank. You know what I'm saying? This is so when you're not around and I can't do this to you. Yeah, I could do it to myself. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's kind of how I look at, and plus I'm a videographer. Yeah. So I get it. And being a videographer is different. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine having to walk around with a camera and videographer somebody? Yeah. For like hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 5 hours, whatever the time is. Mm-hmm. You don't want to even touch a camera when you get home. You don't even want to edit the videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
So when I'm on vacation, I used to be that guy that was always in his camera, you know, always like, and then I'm just like you. I want to be in the moment. Let me put this shit down. But cell phones have gotten so good that to the point, like, and thank God for cell phones. Whoever made cell phone cameras almost as great as DSLRs, thank God, because nobody wants to slug a DSLR on a fucking parasailing activity or a fucking,
it's in the water.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to do that. But, you know, thank God for GoPros and action cams. Those are fucking dope. You can just record and then get to it later. But my whole thing is this. Nothing is like going back to your trip to Tulum, your trip to Canada, you know, your trip to fucking New Zealand, wherever you fucking went, and just going through those pictures and being like, bro, I did that. You don't, like, I take a lot of, I got over 4,000 photos and 4,000 photos, 5,000, like 1,500 videos in my phone right now. I just looked at it yesterday.
You got the 256 gig, don't you?
Yeah, I got the 256.
Yeah, bro, hey, bro, you know what mine is? And I got the 256 because I have so much music. I'm Audible.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I'd rather save a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, the same way you are with the video. I like the format of when I have a conversation with my homeboy or it's like someone on my podcast. It's like, I like being able to go through and listen because, like, I'll be listening like, yo, this shit was fucking hilarious. So,
bro.
I gotta do more video and take it. Now, when I'm with my kids, I take a lot of photos and stuff like that. So, it's just like, the audibleness, like, and I like sharing my thoughts.
Yeah.
I'll run off a bunch of, and I'm notorious for this. I'm trying to cut back, but like I'll be on Facebook just like, yo, this is a thought I have.
Yeah.
And there's another thought I have about the current fucking thought that I have because it's like I'm not gonna put it in the comments because I'll look fucking crazy, but I'll just fucking flood my shit. And a lot of things that I think about are like when I say something, it's out of context.
Yeah.
And my homegirl's like, you just say random shit that no one knows what the fuck you're talking about unless they're having that experience with you. So it's like, oh yeah, I gotta add in. This is a YouTube video that I was watching for context.